Vintage Sound 93.1 FM, Tony Tone Show from the Unity Point Health Studios and on the MPW Digital TV Celebrity Hotline right now. He's the lead singer with the group Loverboy, Mike Reno.
Hey, Tony. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So we just got done literally like 20 seconds ago playing the new Loverboy single, Hurtin', and I like it a lot, man. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So for you guys, Mike, obviously Loverboy's been rocking for several years now. Was Hurtin' a song that had been around for a while? Was it something that you put pen to paper and just kind of banged out one day? What was the background on that?
Well, Hurtin' came about as we were actually going to start writing a song for one of the sports programs, and we kind of came up with a bunch on the Pat Benatar Loverboy Journey tour. Mm-hmm. We ran into a few people we started working with. One of them was the bass player, Mick. And he started sending us some really cool musical ideas. And then Paul and I put together the rest of the song, the melodies and the lyrics, and redid the whole thing. And it turned out that it wasn't for a sports program at all. It was basically, ended up, we asked if it'd be okay if we put on a Loverboy album. And so that's kind of how it started, and that's where it went. And we're very happy with it.
Yeah, you should be. It's great. And we have a radio station here where we have a 100% local control of the playlist, so I grabbed it, played it, and then we'll put it into rotation, so it'll play on its own, if you will.
Well, that doesn't happen very much anymore. I'm glad to see you got some control.
Yeah, I was going to say, anymore it's like they give you 400 songs and say, go nuts, and that's about it. But yeah, no, we totally get to do what we want. And Loverboy, by the way, Mike, you guys are busy. I mean, I was just on your website, and you're on the road. When do you take a break? That's what I want to know, because you're booked out for a long time.
Well, we kind of take January and December off. December, Christmas time. We try not to do too many shows around then, sometimes a New Year's show, and then we break basically all of January, and then we start picking up in February. And this year we picked up one of the first shows out was that big show we did for iHeartRadio in Los Angeles, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. It was televised, recorded. We had press from around the world there. It was us, Billy Idol, Culture Club, Rick Springfield, which we play with quite often, and we're playing with quite often this year again. So
sure.
We've been busy, as busy as we want to be. Let's put it that way.
I was going to say you're probably at a point where you can decide to do a show or not. For us, we can see you guys, Loverboy, July 3rd in Elgin, Illinois, short drive to the Grand Victoria Casino. So, Mike, you reference doing that iHeart show with some other big names in rock. When you go to that, over the years, have you gotten to know a lot of people that are at that show? Is everybody friendly or what?
That was a really fun gig to play. Everybody was there early to set up because it was being filmed. It was in the Forum, which has been turned into an awesome rock venue. They don't do sports in the Forum in Los Angeles anymore. They do sports. In the old days, we would fill that place 2 times. I mean, it's just got so much history, and it's a wonderful place to play. Everybody came early. We were hanging out. We were hanging out with people that we've played with over the years. Billy Idol was watching us play the show, gave us the big thumbs up. He said, "All right, Mike, good show." It was kind of a camaraderie of rock and rollers. Basically, most of us from the '80s. Tears for Fears were there. They were awesome. We were actually fans of most of these bands, and then we became friends with most of them. And that's the beauty of being in a band for this long. Is over the years we've met almost everybody, and we're all friends now. It was just a total riot.
I was going to say that's good to know, because it would be kind of awkward if you'd been around and gotten to know people over the years, and if everybody couldn't get along. I wonder, Mike, and Loverboy's obviously had a slew of hit songs that have been featured on different movies and TV shows, but whenever I hear Turn Me Loose, I think of the movie Wet Hot American Summer. Have you ever seen that movie that features Turn Me Loose? You know what?
I haven't seen Wet Hot American Summer, but I'm going to write it down and look it up because I get a big kick out of hearing our stuff in movies. It's been happening a lot, and it's going to happen even more. I just signed some contracts for some future stuff that's happening, TV stuff, movie stuff, and it's super exciting. It's a big pat on the back. It's a big, huge compliment when people choose, our music for their soundtracks.
I think you'll love Wet Hot American Summer. It's very, very funny, and then they made like a Netflix prequel series that just debuted last year. If you're just tuning in, that's Mike Reno with Loverboy, loverboyband.com, July 3rd, Elgin, Illinois, Grand Victoria Casino. Mike, I had the pleasure a few months ago of chatting with Ann Wilson on the phone, and she was just great. Are you guys still friendly, in touch, talk often?
You know, I'd be interested to find out if you mentioned me, how she reacted, because we have had this song has become one of the biggest ballads of the '80s, almost paradise. And we did it one night in Chicago in the winter, and it turned out that it was just one of those magic moments where we actually met in the studio. I'd always been a big fan of Hart, and especially Ann's voice, and I was given the opportunity to pick whoever I wanted to sing that song with. Mm-hmm. So I picked Ann Wilson, and it was a huge rush for me to get to know her and meet her. And we actually looked in each other's eyes and sang at once in the same microphone. It was one of those kind of moments. It was beautiful. And you know, we run into her all the time, her and her sister on the tour. And you know, I went to see them when I was down in California over the winter, mm-hmm. and they are hot and they are great, and they always probably will be. I mean, it's one of those bands.
Yeah, they were just in town recently, and Ann sounds great, and she did that little bit of solo stuff. So let's go back to Loverboy. Obviously, we have the single Hurtin'. Is there a plan to get in the studio and do a full album? Or, I mean, obviously you guys are busy with the tour, but has that conversation happened within the band?
Absolutely, it's happened. We're kind of trying to figure out what's going on these days. People don't really have the concentration power to listen to a whole album, we're finding. So we throw out 3 or 4 songs every once in a while, and it seems to be enough to keep people stoked, to keep their interest in. We put 10 or 15 or 11 or 12 songs on an album. I don't know. I don't know if people have the energy to listen to that anymore. You know, some of the bands are doing it, but not a lot of the bands are putting out full albums. We always would love to go and do a full album. Let's put it this way. If you get the 5 of us in a recording studio, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to come up with a lot of cool stuff. We can't wait to do it. What we're trying to do is realize how many people would actually like a whole album. If we could find that out, we'd be ready to do it at any point.
You know, and that's interesting. I talked to George Thorogood last year, and he said that people just kind of want to hear the hits and the songs they know, but then at the same time, there's kind of been this resurgence with, you know, things getting printed on vinyl and that popularity. So maybe there's a Loverboy EP down the road that gets released on like Record Store Day as a vinyl thing or whatever. I think people would go wild for that.
That's a great idea. We just recently released Get Lucky on vinyl, and they're doing very well because people are collecting it. And we're finding we're getting some opportunities to go to some other countries, and they're just hearing it for the first time. It's kind of ridiculous, I know. But some of the countries in Asia are starting to open up to concerts and open up to the reality of bringing bands like us in. So we're kind of like sitting on the doorstep of some really cool things to do, international things to do. And the record thing is something we're just dying to do.
Well, I think it's great. I definitely hope you guys explore it. Listen, I know you're busy this morning. The Loverboy single, Hurtin', is available at Spotify.com and Loverboyband.com. See them July 3rd at the Grand Victoria Casino in Elgin, Illinois. Mike Reno, buddy, I appreciate the time, continued success, and definitely check out Wet Hot American Summer. You won't regret it.
Thank you, Tony. Awesome talking to you, man.
We'll talk to you soon. Take care, buddy.
All right, man.
Bye.